Who is that? Good morning, Bell Mafia. I ain't got no wig on. Queen Latifah set it off in a building. But we up, we getting ready. I got so much to do today. But I'm gonna put my wig on because this, nah, y'all can't see me like this. Hold on. Alright, y'all, I'm back. This camera has a bad job, does a bad job focusing. I don't know what happened. But I'm dressed in my Eagles attire. Chris is getting the kids dressed. He did their breakfast already. So I'm doing Nova's lunch. She's having mac and cheese. I got the water warming up in the kettle for her lunch. If you don't know, Omnibox has like a thermos in it to keep the food warm all day. That's how it looks. We had Chinese food yesterday, but I'm gonna throw mine out because I left it out all night by accident. Sometimes it still can be good, but I don't feel like getting sick. Baby, I'm about to put on some good old CarMax. Y'all, I have really been like sick. Like, I've been having like migraine headaches every day. I've been going back and forth to the doctors. I have a doctor's appointment today that I gotta go to for my blood pressure because I'm having blood pressure issues. When I had an ultrasound to go see little baby yesterday. So I have to go to like maternal fetal medicine because I'm high risk. I had preeclampsia with my first baby. This baby, I'm having blood pressure problems as well. So they got me on a dose of aspirin. So I have to take aspirin every day, low dose aspirin every day. And I have to get my baby checked up on more often. And I have to have more doctor's appointments. So they're checking my blood pressure like every week. And if my blood pressure comes back as ER numbers, they were ER numbers last time, but listen, I had to go pick my kids up. I could not go to the emergency room. So, yeah. I had, did that. And child, I just hope today I don't have to go to the ER. I took my aspirin this morning, so hopefully it'll keep my blood pressure down. But who knows? I don't have a blood pressure cup. They said they was going to get me one. I'm hoping and praying that I get one. But the dishwasher did not get this clean, so I have to rewash this. Good morning, Navy.
Good morning, Navy.
How are you today? That's for Daddy's vlogs, not Mommy's. That's for Daddy's vlogs, not Mommy's. Their dad lets them close the vlog out. Nova's excited. Nova's excited to go back to school today. Are you excited to go back to school today? I gotta brush her hair. She's been out of school for 5 days. Well, Friday they had like a virtual day, so it was like a half day, like 3 hours of them on Zoom doing like all their stuff. It was pretty fun, pretty cool. Could be effective, but they're gonna do that if it's like snow days and stuff or like inclement weather. They'll have like their virtual. But she has to take that laptop actually back to her school today, so I cannot forget that. What else? I don't know if she's supposed to actually keep it or take it back because they didn't send a charger with it. I don't know. Don't care. But it is 7:45. We are doing good with time. Got to get them out the house by 8:15. I have a doctor's appointment at 8:45. Then we got a meeting at her Navy school at 9 o'clock. So I got semi kind of a busy morning. And then the rest of the day, I'm going to be making a couple of videos to upload because I feel like I've been neglecting you guys. I have been going live, but I haven't because like I said, I've been sick, like to the point where I couldn't be around no noise, no light. I would have to just lay down and close my eyes. And like my head was like, I was in so much pain. Tylenol wasn't helping. And you know, when you're pregnant, you can only have Tylenol. So I couldn't have any ibuprofen, none of that, just straight Tylenol. So, yeah. Alright, let me get her lunch together, and then I'll see you guys again. Alright, so today for lunch, Nova's going to have mac and cheese, strawberries and blueberries, cucumbers, ranch. This closes and it's airtight. It's made for this lunchbox, and cheeses and goldfish. And then, as something extra, she's going to have that. I'm trying to get her palate back because this little girl has been going crazy with like sweets and snacks and stuff, and I'm not having it. So I got to get her palate back to where it was. So I blame myself. I don't blame nobody but myself. It was my fault because I was lazy. I was being lazy. I'm telling the truth. I was being lazy. And I wasn't worried about her eating. I was letting her eat whatever. I was letting her just indulge in all types of stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna get her back on track. I'm gonna get both of them back on track. But Navy's actually doing good, but that Nova character, I gotta get her back on track. So let me finish setting her lunchbox up, put it in her book bag, and then get ready to get out this door. We are in the car. My head wrap is sliding up. See, that's what happens. My husband ain't even tell me nothing. My whole wig could have been on the ground. It would have still been on the ground. The kids are always fighting. They're at the stage where they are fighting. Oh, the sun's not too bad, right? With the hour change, it's a little over to the right more, so it's not directly in front of us.
Yes, Emma.
But yeah, getting ready to drop those two little beautiful humans off in the back. I have a doctor's appointment.
Pop on your knees. Pop, 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 pop on your legs.
We have a little musician back there. Oh, music stopped. Baby, can y'all see me? Can you hear me? Alright, so I am back home, and I decided to do a little story time. Don't mind me, I was just eating and stuff. You know, I gotta nourish my body because I am with child. So I have to make sure that I stay healthy and stuff. But I just want to do a little story time about my fertility, how I have polycystic ovaries, and also how I was able to conceive while having polycystic ovarian syndrome. So, if you do not know if you did not know what polycystic ovarian syndrome is, it is a hormonal imbalance, typically with women. Actually only with women, only with people with a uterus and ovaries. So it's a hormonal imbalance. So it causes your ovaries, which carries your eggs, to collect a lot of eggs on the outer layer, and it looks like cysts when you look at it on the ultrasound. So if you ever looked at if you have this condition and you ever looked at one of your ultrasounds and you see a bunch of little circles on your ovaries, that's eggs. So it looks like cysts. So that's why it's called polycystic ovarian syndrome, because it's like cysts on your ovaries. So it's mainly an imbalance with your hormones. This makes you insulin resistant. So your body processes a lot of what is it? Like gluten, any type of flour, that type of stuff, it processes as sugar and your body is not able to correctly digest it, or I don't know the whole logistics of it, but I know like it causes like an insulin resistance, so your body does not process sugar well. So with this being said, they prescribe a lot of people like metformin or birth control because it causes irregular periods. It causes you to grow facial hair. So sometimes I do get like hair on my chin, and I do have a hair loss issue as well on my head, which is crazy. So you do have a lot of hair growth in unwanted places. It's hard for you to lose weight. So if you notice that I have been obese, it is hard for me to lose weight. And also it's really like around the midsection. That's where it picks up a lot. There's a lot of bloating that comes with it. Your periods are irregular, and it's also hard for you to get pregnant. So like you become more like, they say it's infertile, but there's a way to do everything. There's a way around everything. So don't let these doctors tell you, oh, you're infertile, you'll never be able to have kids. Because if you have a uterus, you can have kids. I know of one person who has one ovary and she has kids. I know people who have blocked fallopian tubes and they have kids. I know people that have endometriosis, which is, I'm not going to say it's a more severe case, but it's harder for you to have kids with endometriosis than it is with polycystic ovarian syndrome, to my knowledge. I'm not sure statistically how that works, but I do hear that it is harder to conceive with endometriosis versus polycystic ovarian cancer. And I thought I had syndrome, not cancer. And I thought I had endometriosis at first. But I got many tests done and it turns out it was polycystic ovarian syndrome. So all my life, all I wanted to do was be a mom. Like, even from a child, I always loved being around kids. I love babies. I love looking at baby clothes. And it becomes really heartbreaking when you see people around you that have like kids and they're just getting pregnant so easy. I'm sorry, guys. I have to fix myself in my chair. But when you have people that surround you and they have kids and then they're like, oh, I'm getting an abortion, or I don't want kids, or I just had them and I got them, and they're just so fertile. And then you have your friends that be like, oh, well, I tried. Or you have family members who ask you, oh, when you're going to have a baby? When are you going to have a baby? And it's just like, you probably been through 10 miscarriages already and no one knows. So having people ask me that question was very hard, because I thought I was going to have to end up getting IVF to have a baby because I could not get pregnant. And I think it was really just a mind game for me without me being able to conceive. But coming down to it, now that I'm older and I'm more mature and I think about my past, I'm grateful that I did not get pregnant in the past. I'm more grateful now that I'm having a family with my husband, because he's the perfect father. And it's like, now it's like, maybe it just wasn't the right person. So I try not to tell people that, because that can be rude to say, oh, maybe you're with the wrong guy, so that's probably why you're not getting pregnant. But things that I went through with my polycystic ovarian syndrome is I've tried birth control. So I have tried birth control on plenty of occasions. I only tried the pill method. I did not try the Mirena, any type of IUDs, any type of implants. I do not like foreign stuff inside my body. Our bodies are meant to reproduce. Our bodies are here to release an egg every 28 days. Excuse me. So that's what we're here to do. So I don't like stopping my body's natural process, but I do know with the pill, you still have a period. So I did take the pill twice. I took 2 pills and I bled for about 3 weeks. And I'm like, I don't like this. I don't know why I'm bleeding. And they're like, oh, give it 3 months and then it'll get back on track. And I just stopped it like immediately because I don't like for my body to be out of whack. Then if I stop the birth control and try to get pregnant, I'm just so scared that it's going to take me a long time to get pregnant after I stop the birth control, because now my body has to revise itself back to what it's normally supposed to do. So it's just like birth control wasn't the right thing for me. And if you're trying to get pregnant, obviously you're not going to want to take birth control because it's risky, because you could be taking birth control and then end up pregnant, and then you're taking this birth control and you don't know you're pregnant, or the pregnancy test doesn't pick it up, and then you just stop your chances of getting pregnant. So I thought I couldn't get pregnant for the longest. Like, it was just crazy to me. So I had took something called Clomid or Clomiphene. I took 5 pills. So what you do with Clomid is you take it, I believe, because it's been like years since I took this. You take it between day 3 and 7 because it's 5 pills. So I think you start on day 3 or 4 of your period. You take the pills, and then that pill is supposed to help you ovulate so you can get pregnant, and it helps your cycles, because sometimes people with Pcos, they do not ovulate. Like, you can have a period but you still don't ovulate, which is kind of wild to me as well. So that's what Clomid did. My first round of Clomid, I got pregnant, and I was surprised because I've never seen a positive pregnancy test ever in my life until that first time. And I was scared to go look at it. But I felt like I was pregnant. But I told Chris to go look at the pregnancy test. And he was like, wait, does this mean? And I was trying to play it off like I already knew. And I was like, told you, see, I'm pregnant. The plus means this. But I was like jumping for joy on the inside because I've never thought that I would be able to conceive. So it's just like, now I have a baby. I'm excited. I'm going through all the first trimester phases. I had every symptom. I had the fatigue. I had the nausea. I had all of that. Like, literally, I had every symptom. So it was just like, oh my gosh, like, this is really my dream come true. Like, I don't want to feel this way, but I'm just so happy that I'm pregnant. So I don't care that I'm nauseous. I don't care that I'm tired. I don't care if I'm using the bathroom every 5, 6, 7 minutes. You know why? Because I'm finally pregnant. I finally get a chance at being a mom. I finally can do it. So it was just like a moment of joy for me. Like, it was really like, you know how you play a game, like you go on one of them game shows and you find, like, Deal or No Deal, how you have a 50% chance of getting the higher amount on the box, on the suitcase. It was like Deal or No Deal. It was like, I really got my $1 million deal now. So, like, I was grateful. I was so grateful. And then, like, I still have Pcos to this day. So that pregnancy, I only had like preeclampsia during labor. And with my first baby, I did get induced. And they say because you have Pcos, you have like more complications with your pregnancies. So I did have preeclampsia and I did have to get induced. I think if I didn't get induced, then I wouldn't have had so much issues during labor. And I also had very high blood pressure throughout my pregnancy, my first pregnancy. But like I said, our bodies are made to go through this. And you also have to think that you never did this before. So I was still fairly young. I was about 22 or 23. But that was a crazy birth experience, and I will make another video about that experience, but I am going to backtrack some and tell you guys a little about like how I felt when I could not get pregnant. Hold on, I'm going to change my battery. All right, I'm back. So I'm going to backtrack a little bit on how I felt about my infertility. So with my infertility, I did feel very down. Even though I was still too young to, not too young to have children, but too young to be a mother. I still was sad because I think that I would never be a mom. I will always look in like department stores at baby stuff. I was always Googling stuff. I would like to be around babies. When I found out I had Pcos, I was 14. So like a little girl in my family, my god sister, she just had a baby, and I literally like took her baby when she was, not take her baby, but like I would babysit her baby from like when she was 6 months, and I'm still in contact with her, and she's like 14 years old now, 14 or 15, and like I'm her godmom. So it's like she used to be with me almost every day. When I was working, I would buy her clothes to be at my house. I would take her on vacations. We would go shopping. Like, we would just do a whole bunch of stuff. And I treated her as my child because I wanted a child really, really bad. Like, I really wanted to be a mom around that time. So, that was like my escape for being a mother. Like, that was like my escape from reality of the fact that I thought I could not conceive because I was told that I could not conceive children. So then I would like Google a bunch of baby stuff. I would go to the library and look at like baby books, like what to expect when you're expecting and all types of stuff. I would try and poke my stomach out to look like I'm pregnant, and it was just like a mess. So it was like, you ever seen like a Lifetime movie of a girl that wants to be pregnant and she's just like doing all this weird stuff? But one thing I can say is I never tried to trap a man or a boy with the baby by saying I was pregnant by them. And I'm grateful that I did not become that delusional with trying to have a baby. So it was just like, my mind was so foggy because that was something that I always thought about. And I always work with children. Like, I really wanted children so bad, so I would just be around them. It wasn't like an obsession, but it was just like comfort and home. And you know how you like, you go like back to a restaurant that has your favorite food when you were a child because it brings you comfort. Like, working with children because I wanted kids so bad was like comfort for me. I liked being around kids. I loved being a teacher. So it was just like a warm, comfy, cozy feeling for me. And now that I have my own babies, it's just like I don't work in childcare no more because I don't think that I have the brain capacity now that I'm actually a mom full time. It's like I don't have the brain capacity to deal with somebody else's kids, especially in this society, and deal with my kids when I get home. Like, I don't want to bring my work stress home to my children. This is supposed to be my children's safe place. So I'm not going to do something that I know is going to stress me out and bring my stress onto my babies at home. I would never do something like that. And ever since I became a mom, I maybe worked like 2 jobs because I was so overprotective. And I also do not have a village. And that's probably going to be another video about my village. So like, I stayed home until Nova was about... I tried daycare at 4 months. I don't know why. She didn't like it. She only went for 3 days. 1.5 day actually. So, that was it. I took her out. Then I tried. She went to another daycare when she was around like 6 or 7 months. And that was a good daycare, but it was only an infant center. So when she was 1, she would have had to move. So I transferred her to this daycare that I worked at, which was my job. I worked in daycare. And I did not like that daycare. She did not stay there for about maybe 2 or 3 weeks. And that was it. And then I switched her to another daycare. And this is where I found out she had autism. And I was working at Amazon at the time because I did not want to work in childcare anymore because it was just too much. And then she got abused in that daycare. And I took her out of daycare completely. She has been in the school system since 2021. So she was home with me for the pandemic until the school year started, and she went to the public school system, and I never looked back from the public school system. I trust them. My baby is safe and she's out of harm's way. And with my second baby, I put her in the top ranked daycare in the city that I live in, and it's just amazing. So I'm just so grateful for that. But we don't have a village. It's just Chris and I. So certain things like having more children and stuff like that, that's mainly solely on both of us. So like because I am pregnant now, does not mean that I'm bringing another child into poverty. You can still live on Section 8 and have income. And also, you guys should also worry about having a child out of wedlock instead of being married and having a child on Section 8. And I also wanted to show you guys my ultrasounds. So this is my baby when they said it was 13 weeks and 2 days, but it's not. I was probably about 10 or 9 weeks in that ultrasound. So cute. And this, you could barely see anything in these ultrasounds. So it is official. I am pregnant. And yeah, that's how I feel about my infertility. And if you have any more questions, I could do another follow-up video. I can also answer any questions in the comments. I do love feedback. I do not respond to negativity, so you will not get anything out of me if you say anything negative. I promise you, you won't. I protect my peace. So yeah, if you guys want to know any more things about me, please let me know. I also am going to drop more story times so I can connect more with my supporters. And if you made it this far, thank you for watching. If you subscribe, thank you for joining the Male Mafia, because we love it over here. But make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share to everyone you know. See you on the next video. Bye.